What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer up my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited. Nobody cares. I'm sure you don't care, but if you're listening, you might start to care. And if you do start to care, let me know, and then I might start caring too. That you care. All right, and I'm back. And I am reviewing The Time and their self titled debut album, The Time. And of course, everyone knows The Time was created and produced by Prince along with Morris Day. The Time's history is pretty storied, and in my opinion, The Time is kind of like more of a footnote in history, Prince's history, more than a note of themselves, if that makes any sense. They are so synonymous with Prince to where their identity is basically Prince's identity in a lot of ways. I don't know if it makes any sense there, but if you get just what I'm saying, thank you. All right. Anyways, the time the album was released in July of 1981, and the time was developed from a clause actually in Prince's contract with Warner Brothers, which allowed him to sign and produce other acts. So he actually created the group The Time and got them signed and produced under the Warner Brothers label, and he produced them under the pseudonym Jamie Starr, and that was the first Prince's first time using a pseudonym for his work, and he would do that subsequently under other names as well. But Jamie Starr was I guess the first when he started kind of disguising himself, so to speak. The etymology of the time is well known in story, but if you don't know the time's etymology, I will jump into it just a little bit. Once again, Prince put the group together, and it was an amalgamation of parts from bands that played locally in the Minneapolis area. Some cats that Prince knew, were friends with, so on and so forth. Most notably, Morris Day, the lead singer of the time. He was also a drummer and one of Prince's childhood friends. So there was a band in Minneapolis calling themselves Flight Time that Prince was familiar with. And what he basically did is took members from that group along with Morris Day, the guitarist Jesse Johnson, and also Jerome Benton, along with Jelly Bean Johnson, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Monty Moore to make up the group The Time. And their first album, once again, is self-titled The Time, was actually written and produced and also, well, it was written and produced by Prince along with Morris Day, well, Jamie Starr along with Morris Day. But in actuality, Prince actually sang every song, played every instrument, and the band had virtually no input on that first LP. And the only band member who did have any input was Morris Day himself. And if you listen to the record, you can actually hear Prince's voice. It's all over it. I mean, and the music is so synonymous with Prince, you really cannot differentiate between the two. So in essence, the Time's first album is actually a Prince album, basically. Most of the songs was written by Prince. I think the only one that wasn't written by Prince was After High School, I believe, and I think that song was actually more Morris Day creation. So, but when you listen to the record, if you really pay attention to what you're hearing, especially from that era, if you know Prince's music from that era, and you listen to the voices, you can tell it's just him and Morris Day. And basically, Morris basically just sang word for word um, the songs as Prince laid them out to him. So really, Morris's input was basically an afterthought. The album was basically already recorded when Morris came on and did his thing, just basically singing over Prince's tracks. So in essence, you're listening to a Prince album. Now, that's not to take away from the group The Time, because obviously they played the music live. They were a dynamite band, and they really did put their stamp on that music. But once again, you can't really differentiate between Prince and The Time, especially their earlier works. So that being said, I'll jump into the review. So here we go. And as usual, I'll give you a brief snapshot opinion of each song, then wrap it up with the overall analysis straight off the brain. All right. One of the things about this album that was kind of unique, I guess, not really unique, but for the time, I'm, I'm digressing here. Um, but during those times, back in the late '70s, early '80s, back then, LPs, albums, whatever, didn't have a whole lot of songs on them because there's actually only 6 songs on this LP. And nowadays, this would be considered a mixtape or an EP. It wouldn't even be considered a full length album. But back then, it was not uncommon to have an album that had, you know, 6, 7, 8 songs on it. So, so it's really so the songs are really kind of drawn out on this record, I guess, to make up most of his running time. And that doesn't, that's not criticism, but just kind of fact of the matter. But anyways, but I guess if you're younger, you're getting into that music and you're going back and kind of looking in the Wayback Machine and starting to you kind of maybe get yourself into music from the era, you might be surprised. Wait a minute, only 6 songs? Yeah, only 6 songs. So it is what it is. And like I said, back then that was not that uncommon. All right, the first track from this album is "Get It Up," and it was the first single as well. And I love me some "Get It Up." The opening of this song, the opening synthesizer, that is just funky as hell. And I remember the first time I heard "Get It Up" was at a party, at a house party that my cousin Xavier threw. And I'd never heard the song before, and they played this song over and over and over again. And I couldn't get enough of it. It sounded great. And I didn't know, back then, I was a huge Prince fan, of course, but I didn't know that it was Prince. And I never heard the time before until I heard this particular record. And I was like, wait a minute, who is this? But it had that, I didn't know it was Prince, but it had that Prince feel to it. So it really kind of drew me in. And I just couldn't get enough of it. It's just a great song. And I love the lyrics. And once again, it's all Prince. Get it up. Get ready for a real good time. And really, that's a great opening line to a great opening song from a debut album. Get ready for a real good time. And that's exactly what you have with this record, is a real good time. It's funky. It's really long and drawn out. It's almost 10 minutes long. So there's a lot of filler music, but it's groovy filler music. And it's really a jam. There's not much in the way of lyrics, but it's more of a jam. And the instrumentation by Prince on this record is just magnificent. So he basically, you can just envision him in the studio just laying this thing down, just having fun, just grooving his ass off and putting this record together. Because that's exactly what it is. It's really an infectious song, and it still holds up to this day. Obviously, you hear this music, it is kind of dated. That doesn't mean that it does not hold up, because it does. It's still a funky song. It's just as funky today as it was back in 1981 when it first came out, or 80. Yeah, 81 when I first heard it. So I highly recommend Get It Up. Great opening track. And Morris's vocals are very strong. He's not a great singer. He'll never be confused with being a great singer, because he's not a great singer. But he did what he was asked to do, and he equipped himself well, and it did fit well into his persona, so to speak. So kudos to him on, I'm sure it was a tough task having to emulate Prince for the particular record. Next up is Girl, which is a ballad. Girl, why'd you go away? What can I say to make you stay? Girl. It's got a country feel to it, I guess. It's a sad song or whatever, but it's still a groovy song, or it's still funky to be a ballad. But it is kind of sad, and it is infectious. And once again, it's all Prince, obviously, with Morris redoing the vocals. And once again, like I said before previously, and Morris will never be confused with a great singer, but with his limited range, he does equip himself well with this particular record. Girl, a really good, strong ballad from this record. Don't miss it. Next up is After High School, What you gonna do after high school? High school. Dumb song. Don't like it that much. Um, Not saying it's a bad song, just a dumb song. You would think on an LP that has 6 songs, you could put together 6 strong songs without filler. Because when you have 6 songs on the album, there's not a whole lot of room for filler. But after high school is filler. It's a forgotten song. There's really nothing much to it. Um, it's not a terrible song. It's listenable. It's not going to drive you crazy to listen to it, but it's just there. So I don't like it that much. I listen to it. I know the lyrics to it. I've listened to it a lot. It's just, it's just there. Next up is Cool, which was, I think, their biggest hit from the record, at least their most popular song from the record. COOL. What's that spell? And once again, this is a long song. It's the longest song on the record. It's over 10 minutes long. And once again, it's all Prince. And Prince has done the song live in his concerts and everything. So there's no mistaking that. It's definitely, his fingerprints are all over this particular record. Cool is a fun song. It's long. And the more I listen to Cool, the less I like it. Like when it first came out and everything, everybody was like, Cool. Everybody, it was like a huge hit on the R&B charts. And everybody loved it. You heard it everywhere you went. But after a while, the song really, really grated on me because it is so redundant. So fucking redundant. It is so long. So redundant. And after a while, I just got sick of it to the point now where I never listen to the song. I really don't. I can't remember the last time I listened to the song. I don't put on any mixtapes. I don't put on any playlists or anything. Not saying it's a bad song. It just rubs me the wrong way because it's so long. This song should have been 3.5 minutes long. But of course, it has a lot of filler, and juxtaposing it against Get It Up, whereas Get It Up is just as long or just a few seconds shorter than Cool, but Get It Up really holds up because it has more life to it. It has more body to it. It's not redundant it's not as redundant as Cool is. Cool is just so fucking redundant. It just and they say the chorus over and over and over again. COOL. It's over and over and over and over and over again to the point where I'm like, man, I can't take no more. Just fucking stop. So I don't hate Cool. I don't hate it. I just don't like it. I can't listen to it all the time. I can't listen to it at all. But if it came on today, if I'm like, by some stroke it happens to come up on my playlist, or I don't have it on the playlist. If for some reason this song comes on, I'm not gonna turn it off, but I won't, be dancing around the house to it either. I just don't seek it out. A lot of folks love this song. Like I said, Prince performed it a lot. It's one of the time staples. So this song does have a lot of life to it. It's gonna live on forever as one of the time's most popular songs, but it just doesn't live on with me. So that's enough about that song. All right, next up is Oh Baby, which is a slow jam. So the way Prince did this record is on side A, you got Get It Up, Girl, and After High School. And on side 2, you got Cool followed by Oh Baby. So the pattern is there. A meandering jam, slow jam, and a filler song. Meandering jam, slow jam, and a filler song. So, but Oh Baby is a strong ballad. I still listen to it to this day. It's not as good as Girl, but it's a damn good slow jam. Whereas Girl is not a song that you can really groove to, like if you're hanging with your sweetheart or whatever, you're trying to get your freak on or whatever. Girl is not a get your freak on type of song, whereas Oh Baby is. So if you get ready to smash or whatever, you can smash the Oh Baby. You can't really smash the Girl. You know what I mean? So Oh Baby was one of my smash songs, and love it to death. The song doesn't have a whole lot of life to it, I guess. It's not a song there, that you're going to hear on the radio or anything like that. It's kind of like an afterthought. But it's still a strong song that I really do appreciate and I do like listening to. And once again, it's 100% Prince. 100% Prince. And, once again, You know, Prince's vocals along with Morris's vocals, it does blend well, and it does the record justice. So you can't go wrong with "Oh Baby." And finally is "The Stick." Ooh, my stick. I just love my stick. Ooh. Now the stick is filler, but it's good filler. Whereas After High School is bad filler, the stick is good filler, and it's the third longest song. It's 8 minutes long, and it's a damn good jam. It's a damn good jam, damn good close to this 6 song LP. Um, the song is it has a memorable hook to it. Come too quick, much too quick, uh, too quick. I didn't work my stick. And once again, like all the other songs, whatever, Prince's vocals are all over it. So like I said, it's an indelible song, and I know I can't sing. So if I'm pissing y'all off with my singing, I'm sorry, but damn it, sometimes I get the groove in me. I gotta let it go. But I'm a terrible singer, I know. Anyways, um, the stick is a fun song. It's better than cool. So in my opinion, of the 6 songs on this record, um, if I were to rank them, it would be "Get It Up," "Girl," "Oh Baby," "The Stick," "Cool," and "After High School." So "The Stick" is the fourth best song on this limited LP. And but like I said, it's a fun song. It's groovy. It's jams. It's funky. It's a good song to drive to, and it's nasty. So it's a little bit of Prince's nastiness coming out there or whatever. But once again, just a great song. Just a good, funky jam song to listen to. Nothing special about it. It's not going to set any world records. It's not going to move your world or anything. But it's a good, fun song to listen to. If you're sitting around the house chilling or whatever, good song. So, there you have it. Short, but memorable. The Time, their debut album. And the Time as a group, I mean, they. Now I'm gonna get on a little bit of, I guess, get on a little bit of a tangent here when it comes to the Time. I'm really conflicted when it comes to the Time. They had the potential to be one of the funkiest bands to ever walk the face of the earth. Obviously, if you know about the things that happened with them, egos kind of crept in, and the band basically disintegrated. Um, there's a well-known story. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who went on to produce Janet Jackson, became world-famous producers, Grammy-winning producers, basically legends in the R&B music field and pop music as well. They started obviously with the Time, and the story is well known. They were actually producing other artists, and they were actually producing the SOS band. And they had, I guess, had a day off or whatever, and they went to Atlanta to record some music with the SOS band out of Atlanta. But there was a freak blizzard in Atlanta that snowed them in. They couldn't make it to a Time show. They were on tour with Prince at the time, and they couldn't make it to a show in San Antonio. So Prince had to fill in. He actually played bass during their set on tour behind a curtain, and I think Jerome actually mimicked playing bass in front of the crowd, and Lisa Coleman from Prince's from the Revolution played Terry Lewis played bass, so Prince played Terry's parts, and Jimmy Jam's parts were played by Lisa Coleman, and she was also behind a curtain. And after the show, of course, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were fired from the group. Legend has it that Prince fired them, but Prince says he didn't fire them, that Morris fired them. It was Morris's group, and that Morris fired them. But he asked for Prince's advice as far as what would you do if you were in this position. I guess Prince said, "I'd fucking fire their asses." And they fired them, and Morris fired them, and of course they were replaced by some lesser talented artists. And those same artists are the ones who showed up in Purple Rain and on the Ice Cream Castle record. So when it comes to the Time, um, egos really kind of crept in. Like I said, everybody kind of wanted to be more than what they were. And Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they were right in what they did, obviously, because they went on to become world famous producers. Morris as a frontman really became very popular. Obviously, with his turn, his role in Purple Rain, of course, made him more of a household name. He went on to try some other things and failed miserably at it. But but he did get some traction out of it. And the thing about the time that really kind of leaves me conflicted is the fact that the band, their I guess their calling card was their they wore the zoot suits, their bravado. Morris as the arrogant front man, kind of a comedic foil between himself and Jerome, and they were a fun group that had this little comedic undertone. They were Prince's alter ego in a lot of different ways, and and but their act kind of it wore thin. It wasn't much depth to their act. So once you get over the original, I guess, allure of their their arrogant bravado, there wasn't much there. And a good example of that is Morris Day. Morris Day, he really he got typecast as this alter ego, and he's basically rode that horse for his entire career. He's always been Morris Day, doing the same damn thing, and the stuff that him being cool and arrogant with the funny one-liners and everything worked back in 1981, 82, 83, 84, but it doesn't work in 2018. But he's still doing it, and it's kind of sad, really. The time's still together. The original members are not there anymore. There is kind of like it's like a mismatch of original parts along with some new parts. Morris is still there, of course, fronting the band. Every once in a while, Jerome is there. Monty Moore comes around, Jelly Bean, and it's really kind of sad. I've seen the band live several times, of course, and I've seen recently. I saw them a few years ago at a cherry blossom festival in Macon, Georgia. A cherry blossom festival. The time, Prince's alter ego, playing a fucking cherry blossom festival in Macon, Georgia. I saw them last year. I saw the time last year in Chattanooga at some festival or whatever. With they were the closing act with some other R&B groups, whatever. And and doing the same songs over and over again because their catalog is limited at best as far as stuff that's really recognizable. So they do the same songs over and over again. Jungle Love, The Bird, Cool. It's just it's just a tired act that needed to go away a long time ago. And because even because the band got back together in I think like in 1990 with Pandemonium. I'll review that record at some other time. And by that time, and once again, it had really worn thin. They had a hit song, the biggest hit song actually, Jerk Out, from that record. But once again, Morris's bravado, his act had worn thin by that time, and it really didn't resonate with me. And I don't think it resonated with a lot of people either because the band broke up again. They got back again for another record called, they changed their name of the group to the Original Seven because they had some licensing issue, I guess as far as who owned the name, the time, so they just changed their name and called themselves the Original Seven. They released a record called Condensate that was fucking awful. It fucking sucked. I bought it, listened to it a few times, trashed it, ain't worth a damn. It's a sorry ass record. And of course, the record didn't sell, and the group broke up again. And hopefully they're done. Hopefully they won't, try to get together again and make another record. Nobody cares anymore. They're old now, and they're in the 50s, 60s, whatever, and their act just kind of wore thin. But that being said, they have an indelible mark in the history of music because of their association with Prince. And for a time there, like for a moment there, I keep using the word time, no pun intended. But during that stretch, that 3-year stretch from 81 to 84, the Time was one of the funkiest bands on the planet, no doubt. They burned out, but they burned out with a bright flame. And so it's still fun listening to their original music, their original albums, and everything. And I do appreciate what they were, what Prince gave them, and how they kind of branched out and did their own music as well. They were a great band. They were a great band, but they just burned out, and they failed to grow as a group. And it's really kind of sad. It's really sad seeing Morris Day. It really is. Seeing him doing the same thing he was doing. He did not evolve at all as a performer or as an artist. Did not evolve. So now he's playing festivals. And I think he has nobody to blame but himself. He did not evolve. For one, I guess for starters, he was never a singer. He was an image. He was never a singer. And I think, and then just kind of going back a little bit, um, I think Prince was inspired when he created the group. He was inspired by a movie called The Idolmaker, starring Ray Sharkey. I've seen this movie several times, and I can see the parallels where in the movie The Idolmaker, the character played by Ray Sharkey, takes these pretty boys, or whatever, makes them into teen idols. He basically crafts them, and but but the Ray Sharkey character, I forget the name of the character, but the Ray Sharkey character actually wanted to be a singer himself, but he didn't have the look to be a star. He had the talent, but he didn't have the look. So, and there's like a scene in the movie where he's backstage, and the guy, the act, his name was Tommy D, is performing a song, and you can see the Ray Sharkey character behind the curtain mimicking him, singing the song along with him, doing the exact moves that Tommy D is doing on stage. But Tommy D had that look to be an idol, whereas the Ray Sharkey character, I forget his name, damn, the Ray Sharkey character did not. And I think, and that inspired Prince to basically become Ray Sharkey's character from that film and create these idols. And that's what he did with the time. He created these idols, and he was successful at it. They were there of all the Prince groups that he put together. The time was the most successful, and they will live on forever with a interesting footnote in the history of popular music. So I'm not dissing the time. They're a great group. I feel great about them. I still listen to their music, but at the same time, I pity them, if that makes any sense. And do you agree? Am I on track with my assessment of the time and how they flamed out and how they became a really tired act really fast, and how everything now is just so pitiful to kind of see them? Or is it nostalgic? Is it great to see them? Is it nostalgic? Because, like I said, I've seen them a couple times at festivals and everything. It is what it is. I mean, they do their thing. I know their routine just as well as they do. I can get on stage and perform with them. They do the same damn routine over and over again. I know their dance steps, step by step, beat for beat. I could do it. So that's the thing about it. It really kind of takes me, kind of distracts me from them, is that they didn't evolve at all. And like I said, it's Morris's group, so he didn't evolve. Therefore, his group did not evolve. So, what do you think? Let me know what you think. Hit me up. Twitter at WhatLonzoThinks. Email, Gmail at WhatLonzoThinks. WhatLonzoThinks at gmail.com. Hit me up on Facebook. Comment below. Please subscribe. I still need to get my subscribers up. I know. I don't give you a whole lot of content. I'm trying, but I'm so busy. Got so much stuff going on. It's hard for me to really block aside the time to do it on a really consistent basis, but I'm trying. Believe me, I'm trying. Thank you for sticking with me and hanging in with me. And I do appreciate every new subscriber that I do get. But let's get the views up. Please help keep supporting me, and I do appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback. I get a lot of it. So I do appreciate everything that you do share with me. Even if you're correcting me, because I know I'm not perfect. Some things I might misspeak on or whatever. But you got to, one thing about my channel, my show, everything's unscripted. Everything I say, everything I do is off the top of my head. I don't write anything down. Everything is from my dome. So sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I might misspeak, so on and so forth. But it's all off the dome, unscripted. I say it because I think it, because that's why I call it, What Lonzo Thinks. And so hopefully that's the thing kind of sets me apart from some other people out there. So I appreciate your feedback. I do process it, and I do incorporate those things that I do learn, and I don't have a problem with acknowledging the information that I get from you out there. So please keep it up. I appreciate it. Once again, the time. I will do the rest of their albums as well. The What Time Is It record, also Ice Cream Cancel, Pandemonium, but I will not review the original Sevens record, Condensate, because it's fucking awful. It fucking sucked. And I'm not going to through the indignity of having to listen to it again. So that being said, let me know what you think about the time, about Prince, about their involvement together, and about their mark on music history. Please hit me up. Let me know what you think, because now you know what Lonzo thinks.